Guess what? It's officially Libra season. Happy birthday, Libra. Make sure you show some love to your fellow sun sign Librans, okay? But on this channel, we celebrate every placement of Libra because we all have it in our chart somewhere. If you don't think you have Libra in your chart, you may want to see a professional astrologist so that they can, let you know you do have it in your chart. You may not have a planet there, but it is in your chart. All right, this is going to be a general reading for Libra. I wanted to do your love life, your family life, your social life. I want to talk about your career, money, and finance, and your personal private thoughts. So I'm going to get some cards out that are going to talk to that. So this is going to be a general reading for the Libra placement in your chart. Take what resonates, leave the rest. All right, I'm going to put out a few cards. We're going to be dealing with a couple different decks. This is why I love this reading so much, because it deals with a variety of decks. And I'll make sure I put the cards so that you guys can see them. Well, I'm going to try to. I'll pick the cards up and show you anyway. All right, but this is going to be a general reading for the placement of Libra, no matter where it is in your chart. So please take what resonates with you. Leave the rest, okay? I'm not doing personal readings at this time. I just want to put that out there. All right, and I hope that you guys are. This energy is really interesting. I've been feeling the vibe. It's hard for me to put my finger on it right now, but it's been interesting with the solar eclipse, the um, the two new moons in Virgo, and then we're in the fall equinox. You know what I'm saying? With the changing of the seasons into fall. So I've been feeling it. I've been feeling the change. I've been feeling the vibration of it. You probably have too. Maybe you're like wondering why you feel so. Some people may just brush it off, but the changes, the planetary changes are going on. What's going on? You know what? And I wish I would have looked to see what was in Libra. Let me see if I could look real quick. So, as far as the planets, what is this? Come on now. So, I'm looking at the website, theplanetstoday.com. That's where I go to look to see, where everything is at as far as the planetary alignments, where they're located. So, right now in Libra, do we have anything in Libra? Let's see. I think we do. Okay, Mercury's in Libra. So Mercury's in Libra right now. Mercury deals with the communication and thought process. Okay, your lifestyle choices. Excuse me, your perspective on things, your environment. How you connect with your environment, the stimuli, things that stimulate you externally. All right. So we got Mercury there. So you may be, and Mercury it deals with air energy, which is Gemini. It also deals with Earth, which is Virgo, and we just came out of Virgo season. So this energy, you may be feeling the changes. Maybe your thought processes are changing. Maybe you're thinking about things a little bit more. Wherever Libra is in your chart, and Libra deals with the socializing, uh, societal socializing, societal norms, what people feel is normal, what people feel is popular. Mercury also rules like lifestyle choices, specifically Gemini type of energy. But with Libra, which is an air energy that deals with the social aspects of it, maybe you're just looking around at, how you socialize and who you socialize with and what you consider normal and things like that. But, you know, that's just in the Libra house. We got all these other planets going on here and, moving around. But without further ado, let's just get to your reading. So this is your personal private thoughts, this one column here. This middle column is career, money, and finance, and this last column over here is your love life, family life, and social life. Let's start with your personal private thoughts, Libra energy. So we got the classroom energy here, okay? The challenge with that is being encouraged. A possible solution you may want to take into consideration in reference to that challenge of being encouraged is to tap into the Mars energy. So I feel like, you may have some questions about things. You may be wondering, why is it the way it is? Why is this going on? Why do we do this? Why, you know how a child is very inquisitive, always asking why? That's because they're processing things, they're trying to learn things, they're trying to put things together, trying to put the pieces together of the puzzle of life, trying to make sense of it based on where they are mentally. So you may have some people doing that. So you may have your children telling you how things are in school, because school started back up. For some of you, you've been in about a month now. For others of you who started in September, you may have been in for about 3 or 4 weeks. But there could be things going on with school in reference to societal norms, what kids are doing, what they're not allowing anymore in schools, and things like that. So maybe you have a child who's starting in a new school, a new environment, and they're trying to get used to it or acclimated, and they're trying to make friends. Maybe there is if this is not even you or your child that you're concerned about, this could just be someone who may need encouragement from you to go for what it is that they know. Maybe somebody wants to go back to school. Maybe somebody wants to learn more about, there could be somebody who doesn't know AI, wants to learn more about AI. There could be somebody who wants to take some type of class to learn how to connect with other people in any shape, form, or dimension. And somebody may be feeling as if they're out of touch also, is what I'm getting here. So, there could be some concerns about that. Maybe you're in an environment where you are teaching or educating people, or you have a gift that you could share with the masses, or maybe you're just good at interpreting technical information or information that may normally be difficult to understand or challenging to understand for the majority. Maybe you're into where you're able to interpret that energy or that information into more common speak, common language, so to speak. So, maybe you are taking classes where you need a tutor, okay? Or you may be wanting to go back to school, you haven't been in a while, and maybe you're a little rusty. So, a couple of things could be going on here like that, all right? But let's get some clarity here. Tell me about this classroom environment with the raising of the hands, the children, the teacher. What do we need to know about that? Yeah, mask. So somebody may not know what's going on. They're confused. They don't really understand what the issue is. They may not understand what someone is saying. One minute they're learning this, the next minute they're being told, no, that's not normal, that's not acceptable. And so somebody is just trying to figure out how to connect. They may be feeling discouraged about that because this is something new, something they've never done before. So they may have to change up. Like there could be like a elevation, um, going to the next level. And so maybe there could be a challenge with that, or somebody's not sure what to do. So there could be some encouragement needed. Tell me about this encouragement. This is, yeah, so from the past, because this is a nostalgia card, it deals with the past. So we have the gel pen energy. Let me see what that means. Hold on, I just dropped the book. Hold on, y'all. Let me find out where this, I don't even see where the book dropped. Yo, this is insane. How did it just disappear? Oh, it's way over here in the corner. Man, look, give me a minute. I gotta get all the way over here. I don't know how it flew all the way over here. This is bananas. Hold on. I'm sorry. All right. I finally got it. And I got my glasses, so we shouldn't have any any issues moving forward. But let's see, Libra. All right, so with the nostalgia energy of the gel pen, it says crafty, visionary, idealistic. Exactly. This is what I was talking about, Libra energy. Okay? Being this is just air energy, period. So this is like doing something different, having a catchy way to connect with your classmates. You know, maybe you're working on a project with someone at work or at school. You know, you could just be in a new work environment or a new school environment and you're getting acclimated to that environment, or maybe your children are, or somebody you know could be going into a new environment trying to get acclimated to this new environment. And maybe they're having problems adjusting, or you could be having problems adjusting. What you may want to implement to resolve that is tap into that Mars energy. Okay? So, with that Mars energy, this is all about your desire to make things happen. You know, it's like focusing on what it is you want to happen. Excuse me. And taking the perspective measures to do it. But for some of you, you can make money doing this. Okay, with that Ace of Diamonds, you might be able to make some money doing this. So for some of you, this could be about trying to figure out a crafty way to teach somebody what you know. You know, maybe you're good at a particular topic, a subject or topic. Like I said, this could be anything from technical writing, like you know, maybe you're highly intelligent and you have the gift of being able to translate technical jargon into jargon that is, you know, something that maybe a fifth grader could understand. You know what I mean? So maybe you're doing that, and that could be in any realm. Okay, so you're looking for a way to benefit and make money from it. Some of you have this gift, you just need to go ahead and put it together. So maybe you put it in an online format, a class online format, okay? Or maybe this is how you're learning. Maybe you're doing online learning for the first time and you're used to a traditional classroom, or maybe your children are doing online learning because of what's going on with the school systems nationwide. I'm here in the States. And so maybe you decided to homeschool. So you're trying to find a way to keep your child's interest. Yeah, here's the King of Cup energy in reverse here. Somebody is I feel like somebody is over emotional about the situation, is what I'm getting here. Somebody is maybe panicking. I feel like somebody could be frustrated. They could be upset. They could be in a position where they're just not sure how things are going to work out, or why, you know, or what they could do. So they're trying to come up with this gel pen and this encouragement energy, a crafty way to be able to learn the information, or to put the information out there for others to learn. Okay. Maybe you're trying to help your child come up with a creative way to learn some information. Here's the Emperor energy. So it could be the way that someone is teaching that information. You know, the challenge is the Emperor. So this could be that it's old and outdated, okay? But this could also be that there is an energy of, you know, you got to follow the rules and the regulations that are in place. So maybe you're just looking at it like, yo, this is just old and outdated. We need to do something new. We need to do something updated. You know, we need to change the rules. Okay. That could be what's going on here too. Tell me more about this Emperor energy. There's one too many. Yeah, the Four of Cup energy came out. I'm sorry, the Four of Pentacles came out in reverse. Yeah, so like I feel like it could be the rules and the regulations. Maybe you are in a position where you're rewriting rules and regulations, or maybe you just got to do things the way you want to do them instead of the traditional way that everybody else is doing it. This is what I'm getting here with this Emperor energy and this Four of Pentacle energy in reverse. Yeah, so I feel like maybe somebody is like, okay, well, you know, yeah, this is the way they say they're supposed to do it. We're supposed to do it, but what we're going to do is we're going to do it this way. So I'm getting that type of energy. So this could be somebody circumventing the rules. And it's not in a way to get in trouble. It's just in a way to like, okay, this is the traditional way. Everybody's always done it. This is just the way it is. And you're like, well, why? When we can do it this way and it's more efficient, it makes more sense, and people like it, and it's better for the people, or we need to just try something different. Yeah, 4 cups. It's like, letting go of or being comfortable with letting go of the way things used to be. Like people are emotionally attached to a situation and being able to say, okay, well, let me let that go. This could be about your child too, just going to school, going to the next level. Um, that could be it. It could also be an energy here of, not being able to afford education or afford to take a class. And maybe somebody's like, well, you know what? I don't necessarily have to take certain classes, or I can get myself acclimated. Maybe you have to wait a semester, or your child may have to wait a semester or a year or something like that. Or maybe you do. Maybe you missed the deadline and you're like, okay, well, how can I get acclimated to this particular type of curriculum? Well, you go online to YouTube, because YouTube is a great source for learning different subjects and topics from different perspectives. So I remember I had to take a subnetting class. This is how I even got introduced to YouTube. I was taking information technology, and we had to take a subnetting class. And if anybody knows anything about subnetting classes, yeah, it's like, okay, dealing with the octets in in an address, a web address, and all of that. Anyway, long story short, it's a headache. It was a headache for me, but I went online and I learned how to do it, or got some assistance from YouTube, from someone on YouTube, a couple of different people, teaching it in a different perspective. So if you're having problems with a class or a course, or someone who is, recommend YouTube, because they, just like you see these videos, you have so many different people who have a perspective on showing something. And maybe you are somebody who wants to teach people. YouTube might be the platform for you, or any other social media platform to teach people, and so you can make money. Okay, that's for some of you. All right. So, Libra, that's just the general information I was getting with the personal private thoughts. Let's move on to career, money, and finance. So, the current situation here is the pig energy. The challenge is grief. Possible solution or perspective to consider in reference to tackling that grief is to tap into the Chiron energy, the healing energy. Now, Chiron is currently in Aries. Okay. Excuse me. And what Saturn is there? No, Saturn's not there anymore. Saturn and Neptune. I'm sorry. Chiron is in retrograde in Aries, as well as Neptune. So this could be you seeing where, there are issues, okay, wherever you have Aries in your chart. And if for some of you, it could be in your money houses. Maybe you have Aries in the second house. Or for you, Libra, if you're a sun sign Libra, it's going to be opposite wherever your Libra energy is. But, like I said, everybody's got Libra everywhere in their chart, just like we got every other sign in our chart somewhere. But in reference to career, money, and finance, this could be somebody trying to come up with pigs are really intelligent animals. So somebody could be trying to come up with an intelligent way to do what they do. Some of you may be, what is the word I want to describe? Overqualified for the position that you're in. So this could be where you're learning a new job, or you're taking on a new job, but you may not be making enough money. You may have taken this job on because this is all you could get right now. Like, it's really weird out here with the job market. Um, I'm not going to get too much into it, but I'm just going to leave it at that. It's really weird out here with the job market. Those of us who are extremely qualified for certain positions are being blocked and barred in certain ways. Like, there's some unwritten shit going on in reference to how people are hiring people. A lot of the qualified people who have the education and experience are not getting the positions, or they're getting booted out of their positions. So some of you could be in a position here where you're overqualified for the position, is what I'm getting here. But it could be that you have to start over. Chiron was an energy. He was a wounded healer. He was also a teacher, right? He had his own issues and his own concerns, but yet he still was able to go out into the world and teach and share his gifts with others. So this could correlate with this energy here, where some of you have some information based on your experience that you could teach. So a podcast, you know, setting up a Twitter, what is it, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all those social media outlets you would be able to use to maybe start a podcast to teach people, if you have an acquired skill, or, just, maybe you have a personality where, a podcast would be successful for you. But for some of you, you have all this intelligence, but you just don't have any place to put it, or you don't know what to do with it. So you're considering, how can I make money from this? This is what I'm getting here. All right. And for those of you who are looking for a job, you may want to stop and look at all of the experience, the work experience you have. What can you do? What you can't do? What kind of problems have you solved in the work environments that you were in? And twist that, transmute it into a skill. Well, I've successfully been able to do blah, blah, blah. We had this problem at the job, and I was successfully able to create blah, 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 blah. And that's what resolved the issue. So, you got to learn how to turn your skills and expertise into something marketable. So, let's get some clarity on that. Sorry about the noise outside, but okay, yeah, so the pig energy is protest. So, somebody is not happy with what is going on, okay? Somebody may feel like, well, how do they get to do A, B, and C, and I don't? Or somebody could be complaining about you in reference to your career, money, and finance. That could be the case, but let's get a little bit more clarity here. But somebody doesn't like something, and it may be, making you upset, or maybe you're the one who doesn't like something because it's causing you some type of grief in some sort of way. Yeah, it's the environment. Okay, there could be a cloudy environment. This is why it's grief. So this could be the mindset as well. It don't have to be the environment itself, but it could be the environment that is causing the grief. But for some, you could be, maybe somebody's depressed based on the type of work that they do, and how they, what's going on with their job and not being satisfied, low job satisfaction, things like that. People could be just checking out emotionally at work too. They just don't like what they do, but they got to do it anyway. That's what Chiron energy is. It's like you got your own issues, but you still got to get out here and perform and function, right? You might have traumatic shit that happened to you that you're still trying to process. We all do, right? But, we still got to go out here and get a paycheck though. Yeah, you depressed. Yeah, you might have, post-traumatic stress disorder, but the bills still need to be paid, right? That rent still need to be paid. That mortgage still need to be paid. That car insurance, that car note, the light and gas bill. You need food in the house. You know what I mean? You need communication. Like, so, all these things still got to be taken care of. So you still got to get out there and perform despite the fact that you could be going through something. Yeah, so with the Chiron energy, we have the Jack of Clubs. So this is like the Knight of Wands. So, this is all about, somebody saying, you know what, I got to do it anyway. Let me just go. Let me just go ahead and do it. Let me not think about it. Let me just do. Because that's what the Knight of Wands does sometimes. He just is like, okay, you know what, I got to go do this. Let me just go do this. So it could be that energy that you want to take in. And so, as far as the resolution, again, this is just about, look, we all got things that we got to deal with. Um, but I'm also getting certain things you can just go ahead and move on from. But I get that somebody is not processing their grief. This is in reference to career, money, and finance. So somebody may need to get a therapist, or maybe you work as a therapist and you got your own issues. Okay, therapists got issues too. Don't get it twisted. A lot of people may think therapists, they got it together. That's why they're therapists. Most people who go into psychology go in because they are dealing with things and they're trying to help heal themselves. So these are like true healers in a certain regard, because they heal themselves enough to realize, oh, okay, if I could fix myself, I had this issue, I could help myself, then I could help others. So this could be what is going on here too. So maybe some of you are considering doing some type of coaching, okay, or maybe going into psychology. Okay, this is what I'm getting here too, taking the classes in psychology. Okay, That could be what this is, and helping, helping people heal emotionally. That could be what's going on here. Yeah, and maybe what you went through encouraged you. So now you have control over the situation, and you can open up with the Emperor and the Four of Pentacles and pin what you did. So maybe you're gonna write a book, okay, or write some type of classwork or whatever. So maybe you're being encouraged to do that, right? You turn your power into pain. Is your pain into power? That's what I meant to say. Tell me about this protest energy. The King of Wands. Okay, so here's the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands. So the King of Wand energy is the current situation here. Somebody may not like the way someone does something. They don't like their particular style of things. Maybe somebody feels like um, somebody is they don't take enough action. Somebody might feel that way, or somebody may feel like they're stuck and they're trying to take some action. I just feel like that somebody is protesting the way somebody's handling something, is what I'm getting here. Like the king of like you're dealing with the pig energy, which is mental energy, and then you're dealing with the king of wands energy. So somebody could be protesting, wanting to take some type of action in reference to somebody who or something who may be trying to outsmart a situation. Or maybe you're dealing with someone at the job who is trying to bring out the aggressive part of you. So you could have people who could be trying to fuck with you. This is something else. This is something I'm getting to with the grief and the cloudy energy. You may have people around you who are, bullies. This is what I'm getting to with the King of Wands and this and the protest energy. Like you may have bullies, and I just feel like there's an energy of people trying to get you riled up for whatever reason. Tell me about this cloud energy. So be careful when it comes to making your money. Okay, that you're keeping you're maintaining your composure. Yeah, justice energy. See, some of you are being treated unfairly. It could be by your boss, it could be your colleagues. Um, it could be, like I said, you could be going to try to get some assistance or trying to apply for jobs, but you're dealing with people who I just get that these are people who are popular. It's like instead of the people who are intelligent, it's like people who are intelligent, who are qualified for the jobs, are not getting the jobs. That's what I was saying earlier, right? And then we have that clarified with the Two of Pentacles. So it's like some of you, as a result, you're not getting jobs that you're qualified for. So you may have to work multiple jobs. You got a lot of people out here with degrees, levels of degrees as far as schools, and education, but they still have to work two jobs because of the system, the way it's set up. It's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. You could bust your ass, go to school, get a good education, because you want to put yourself in a position, well, I want to be able to provide for myself and not be, a bum and have to live off of other people. You know what I mean? I want to be able to take care of myself and work a decent job. And God forbid you go to school because you want to work a job where you ain't got to bust your ass and work two jobs all your life. You go to school to get an education where okay, well, I want to be able to make enough money from one job, right? And maybe for whatever reason, you're in situations and scenarios here where brains over brawn. This is what I'm getting here. Brains over brawn. So I don't know if some of you in the past have made some mistakes where it was like, yeah, instead of me um keeping my emotions in check and using my intellect, I let, people get the best of me. I let them stress me out. Um, and so as a result here, people don't know who to believe with the justice energy and the Two of Pentacles. They don't know who to side with, type of energy here. And so some of you had to learn some important lessons in reference to that. Maybe you lost your job, or you lost a position, or you got demoted, or didn't get a promotion because of some, brains over brawn type of situation going on at the workplace. But the universe is saying, this is something that, like, this is a lesson that somebody had to learn. Okay, somebody may have lost their job or may have had to go to court. All right, there could be a financial situation here where someone's in court, okay, and someone lost their cool, or somebody's complaining that somebody's aggressive, or they don't feel comfortable around this person, or this is somebody who doesn't follow rules, something like that. But here's the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So for some of you, it's like all about, okay, you know what? Let me maintain my composure. Let me keep my mouth closed and let me just go ahead and do my job. Because the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords here is the same thing as the King of Wands and the pig energy. Because I told you the pig energy is air energy. So this is, where it started off at, right? And it could be, somebody could be jealous and envious of you and start in trouble with you, or I don't know if you was doing this to somebody, but it's like you had to learn a lesson from this, whether you were the one who was being abused or picked on, or what have you. But I do feel like for some of you, this is something that you had to deal with in a past life. And so as a result, you may have to deal with it again in this life, because it could be that, okay, you learned that lesson by the skin of your teeth in your last life, or you didn't complete the lesson in your last life. So in this life, you have to do it again. Most of us, with the stuff we going through right now, we already went through in our past life. It's like we didn't learn the lesson, so we're being reintroduced to it. So that, in the workplace, so some of you may be having that issue when it comes to your career, money, and finance. So you may want to check out your 10th house, your second house, um, your money houses, your eighth house, okay, your second house, your fifth house could be money too. Your fifth house is quick money, so lottery winnings, things like that. Your second house is what you do with your money. Your 10th house is your reputation, maybe what you do for a living. Your sixth house is your daily routines and things like that to help you to get your money. So you may want to pay attention to these particular houses and see, in your chart how this could be affecting you. All right, so let's move on to your love life, family life, social life. So we got the motorboat. Forgive me, my card is ripped. Got wet. I think this is the one I spilled some. Anyway, I spilled something on it. Uh, I was gonna say anyway. Champagne is what I spilled on it. So forgive me. So we got the boat energy, the speedboat energy. The challenge is love. Okay, and then a possible solution to that romantic love would be to tap into the the Libra energy. So this is all about being having ideas, looking at things from a different perspective, trying to see what works best. So for some of you, you could be uh looking for love. All right, the speedboat over the water, like the speedboat reminds me of somebody just going quickly through relationships. You don't go too deep in the water with a speedboat. You're just on top of the water flying. You ever been on a speedboat or watch the speedboat go? It don't go too deep in the water. It flies on the top of the water. It's not like a big tanker that's down in the water and is affected by the currents. The speedboats, depending on what the weather is, they're not too affected by the currents in the water. They may have to go over the bumps, but other than that, it's going so fast that it doesn't really have to feel the gravitational pull of the water like that, like a big tanker would, or a big Caribbean cruise line ship would, right? So it's just skidding over top of the water. So this is like skidding over your emotions. But the thing is that maybe you are just not paying attention to your emotions or you're ignoring it. But the thing is somebody wants romantic love. So you may have to change your perspective on how you look at things, how you, if you want love, you may have to get out there. You may have to get out there and socialize, because that's what Libra talks about. Libra is the energy of social, it's the socialite, okay? Getting out there, mingling, getting to know people, talking to people. I'm getting speed dating, going online, uh, you know, you can meet creeps anywhere, whether it's online at a speed dating event. You can meet creeps at church. Okay, you can meet creeps in the most godliest or purest places, and you can meet them in hell. Creeps are everywhere. So you just have to use discretion no matter where you're meeting people, whether it's on a dating app or whether it's somebody who lives in, somebody you work with. You just got to be careful, So let's get some clarity on this family life, love life, social life energy for Libra. What do they need to know in reference to the speedboat energy? Okay, aid. Yeah, so you might need some help. So somebody might need a dating coach, or they just may somebody's just not good at dating. Is what it is. Somebody's really they could be socially awkward. Is what I'm getting here. All right, and so you could be somebody who's highly intelligent, and you just don't, and some people look at people who are highly intelligent as nerds, like they don't talk to people, they're weird, they're awkward. It's not that they're necessarily, not all of them are necessarily weird or awkward. It's just the average person can't fuck with them mentally. You know what I'm saying? So when you have highly intelligent people who are looking for connections, it's very difficult to find a connection. And it's only because you can't relate. The average person doesn't talk about what an intellectual would be into or what an intellectual talks about. So you have a hard time connecting with people, and establishing a relationship with people. So, this could be a challenge for people. Okay. A lot of people are dealing with this. Yeah, with the romantic energy, we have the animal energy clarifying that. So romantic love is clarified with the giraffe energy. So yeah, it's like this is giving me an energy of you cannot be friends with turtles if you're a giraffe. Like, how the hell are you going to spend your time hanging out with your friends with your neck all the way down, hanging down? That's such an awkward position. You need to find somebody on the same page as you. So you need another giraffe to hang out with, not a damn turtle, right? So this is why for some of you, you might need help dating or finding someone who is evenly yoked and aligned with you, right? Because you're just not aligned with the average person because of your uniqueness in who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people go through that. And don't let society think something is wrong with you because you're single or you're not out here dating like everybody else. You don't do what everybody else do. Everything ain't meant for everybody. And unfortunately, the world is brainwashing people to think that that is the case. That everybody should be doing this. Everybody should do this. You should get on this. Everybody's doing this. This is the latest. Some things, yes, but a lot of things, no. Individuality is key because your peace has a lot to do with you respecting and putting up boundaries in reference to your individuality and who you are, right? So with that Libra idealist energy, we have the 8 of diamonds. It's like the 8 of pentacles. So for some of you, you may be able to connect with people that you work with. Some of you may work in environments where you have to be intelligent. Like, you could work in the scientific community, the mathematical community, the literary community. um, these are people who have a hard time dating, right? But you have to be around people who are evenly yoked for you to have commonality, right? It makes, you had the nerd, the weird story of the nerd and the bad boy, or the girl nerd and the bad boy, or the guy nerd and the bad girl. Like, that shit doesn't work. Like, that's just bullshit. That's stuff people put out there to get people who are not evenly yoked into a connection just based on primal shit. You gotta be around people you connect with. You gotta be around people you relate to. You cannot be somebody who is educated and still dealing with thugs on an intimate level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not gonna work. Now, people try it. Yes, it do. I got that relate. Okay, whatever. Everything ain't built for everybody. Okay, you could try it if you want to, just because you're trying to fit in, but it don't work. I don't care what nobody say. And if it do, you go through a lot of transformation to get it to work. And both people have to be willing to be uh, able to connect with the other person and be able to give up a part of themselves to merge into a relationship. And that's another thing. Somebody may not want to give in a relationship. Like, people will call people who don't have kids or people who are not married, they call them selfish. It's not that you're selfish. It's just that you haven't met anybody who you connected with that makes you open, right? Or maybe you've had negative experiences in the past. And so as a result, you're like, okay, I've connected and opened up to the wrong people. Because that could be a negative aspect of Libra, people pleasing, just trying to connect just to get somebody to like you when these people are never going to like you. You know what I mean? And you're just not seeing it. So, these types of things could be going on here. So let's get some clarity. Tell me about this aid energy. Help with, the emotions and dealing with your emotions and romantic love. Yeah, see, here we go. You're unique. You're different. You're highly intelligent. You're not the average. For some of you, this is online dating. Okay, joining groups that are affiliated with what you're interested in. That's what some of you could do as well. Especially if you're just looking for friends that could lead to more. Like, a lot of people are not just interested in, oh, as soon as they meet someone, oh, he's cute, or oh, she's cute. I wonder, what it would be like to be in a relationship with them. Like, some people don't think like that. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. A lot of us are like, okay, I met someone new today. All right, well, let's see, what kind of a connection we can develop. Let's see if we can be friends. Let me get to know this person before you even think about them romantically. Yeah, you could see them and see that they're attractive, but that's not your itinerary. Your itinerary is, okay, is this somebody that I can connect with? Is this somebody I can have a friendship with? Is this somebody where I could see a future with? Because the star energy deals with maturity, it deals with growth, it deals with long term success, it deals with friendship, long term friendship. That's, other aspects of the Aquarius star energy, right? Finding my ideal person that I can connect with. What's the star energy? Yeah, the strength energy. Being able to have discipline, self control, exercising boundaries, knowing your worth. Okay, so you're looking for somebody who's disciplined, who's intelligent. You're looking for somebody who's intelligent, who gets along with others, who's not self-centered, somebody who has control over their emotions and their desires. Yeah, else it's not going to work with the Eight of Pentacle energy in reverse. Exactly. So for some of you, this is what you're looking for. You've elevated your situation here. It's not about, oh, he has to have six figures, he has to have this, or she needs to have this. It's not about that material shit. It's not about that at all. That's why the Eight of Pentacles energy is in reverse. You tried all that shit, it don't work. You need someone who is comfortable with being who they are, who's able to shine in their own light and be comfortable with who they are and not be intimidated by others, and people who are going to respect you for who you are. Somebody who has a level of maturity, somebody who has control and discipline over their demons, knows who their demons are, what their demons are, knows what triggers them, right? And somebody who is not going to jump right into a relationship, who's not going to just be like, oh, I just met him last week, or I met him a month ago, and girl, now we having sex. That crazy type of stuff that the average person does. So, you may have been through all of that already. You're wise, you know better, right? So we didn't even look at what the book said the giraffe meant. I just went off of that intuitively. But let's see what the giraffe energy talks about. And then we got another animal card, the alligator. That's clarifying the love energy. So let's see what these animals are representing here. So the alligator represents aggressive, threatening, and contentious. Yeah, see, you're worried about that. And then with the giraffe energy, this is all about nosy, inquisitive, and meddlesome. So you don't like nosy. For some of you, the things you dealt with in the past had to do with people who were just aggressive. You may have dealt with lovers who just not emotionally available, or they just aggressive and mean. And I feel like that aggressive energy has a lot to do with self-control, self-discipline, boundaries. You may have somebody who does not respect maybe you dealt with someone who don't respect boundaries. But it's also up to you to enforce boundaries. You could say, oh, well, this person doesn't respect my boundaries, but yeah, you still fucking with them. You understand what I'm saying? This is like somebody who, they know where you live, but they just come by your house unannounced. Okay, well, you let them know, hey, I understand you stopped by. I appreciate that. But, moving forward, please don't come by my house without calling me first. That's a boundary that I have that I just, maybe other people are cool with that, but I'm not. And I know you didn't know, and it's all good right now. But moving forward, please don't come to my house before calling me and being invited. Period. But this motherfucker, y'all get into an argument or fight. First thing this motherfucker gonna do if they don't hear from you is they gonna come knock on your door. That's disrespect. That's somebody who don't respect your boundaries. I don't. This is what somebody was dealing with, and then you're dealing with people who also are in the business. So maybe you had in-laws, nosy, inquisitive, and meddlesome. So maybe you had friends that was in your business. Person had they friends in your business, and they listening to their friends, tell them what to do instead of them, connecting with you directly, finding out what's up with you. They listening to their friends. Them type, oh, don't do that with women. This is what you do with a woman. You do blah blah blah. And then instead of this man coming to you and saying, hey, I was wondering, blah 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 blah. How do you feel about this? Instead of that man doing that and getting to know this individual woman, he's basically listening to his friends tell him how to act and treat her when his friends don't even know her. You know her. You got access to her, direct access to her. Why would you be going to somebody else, asking someone else advice about this person when you could just simply talk to this person and get a gauge for what they like so you know what to do? Like, communication is a problem, right? So this is what I'm getting here. So the idealist is like, yeah, think about things before you do it. You know, with the 8 of Pentacles here, this is the eight of diamonds is the 8 of Pentacles. Thinking about how to relate to this person. That's what you need to do. So treat people as individuals. I've been saying that shit from day one. You know, if I met a guy and he's like, "Oh, y'all women," da 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 da, that's a red flag to me. Now, if it's just a laughing joke or like, women love shopping or da 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 da, like I know guys who like shopping too, but whatever. Or, but if he's saying something sexist, like, oh, well, y'all women, the kitchen and y'all need to be in there cooking, or you a woman, what you bring to the table? Can you cook? And all this crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's a red flag to me. Cause like I'm not in a relationship with you to cook for you, on a regular basis. Like I could cook for you sometimes, you could cook for me sometimes. We could go out to eat, shit, whatever. But I'm not getting in a relationship and one of the prerequisites of being with you is I gotta cook for you. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm just not with all that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody different strokes for different folks. This is why you got to take time to get to know the individual you with. First of all, you got to know what you like and what you want and what you're looking for. And it needs to be logical. Well, I'm looking for a woman who cooks. Why are you looking for a woman who cooks? I'm looking for a woman who cooks because you know what? Right now, I work a lot and I don't have time to eat healthy. I'm always eating out. So if I'm gonna be living with someone or living with a woman, I will want someone who's comfortable cooking or to help me to eat healthy, eat better. Like put it like that and mean it like that. Don't just be on someone. You need to be in the kitchen cooking. Get out of here with that bullshit. This 2025. Ain't nobody dealing with that. So here's the air energy. This is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. You don't know how to relate to a person. You don't know how to talk to them. Everybody is not gonna be sitting here. Everybody's not trying to be. This is interesting. Everybody's not looking for a relationship. Some people have a problem accepting that. The only people who have a problem accepting that, what, you don't want no relationship, are people who are manipulative. Most people get into relationships because they have a need that they want fulfilled that they're not able to fulfill themselves. So they're looking for somebody else to fulfill it. Instead of just saying, yeah, let's just hang out and do what we do and then you go about your business. No, they want to shack up and live with a person. And it's like, that's not what I was looking for. But, here you are. All I wanted was somebody to rub my feet once a week. Now here we are living together, sharing bills, and you getting on my goddamn nerves, and we not even evenly yoked, all because I wanted my feet rubbed. Like, do you really need your feet rubbed? If so, why don't you just go pay and get that service done? That way, you ain't got to worry about no extra bullshit that come with all of that. See, like, people don't be thinking. You know what I'm saying? They just want to just jump in a relationship with somebody just to use people. And so a lot of people realize that's why they're not happy in relationships. Let's get some extra energy out here. We're going to wrap this up. So crush energy. Somebody is crushing on somebody. Somebody could be trying to meet somebody or wanting to meet someone. Or maybe they already met someone and they're trying to get to know this person. It's like, yo, let me get to know this person and see who they are about. Or maybe you met somebody online. Okay? Somebody could be crushing on you. Yeah, we have caregivers. Somebody's looking for somebody who's going to help them, who's going to help them take care of themselves. If you're looking for somebody who cooks, maybe it's because you want to eat better, not because you just want somebody to, well, that's what I want. But, you may get it and then you still don't appreciate the person. That's because you didn't really need something like that. There was no benefit to it. It was just something you wanted. So when you start making your list of what you're looking for in a person versus what you're not looking for, look at why you want that. Is it something is it coming from a place of healthiness or is it coming from a place of trauma? As far as you wanting that or figuring you need it. That's anything you want and need. Is it coming from a place of, yes, I need this versus I want this? Like, yo, we all need a place to stay, but do you need an apartment that's by the water, that's on the 5th floor? I mean, on the 10th floor, the penthouse, like, do you need that? Yeah, you might be able to afford it, but is it going to be worth it for you? Or is it you just getting it because you just want to brag? You know what I mean? Is it really healthy for you? Like, think about things like that before you do. You know what I mean? Some of you, like I said, you're dealing with somebody who is comfortable being by themselves. So you may not know how to approach this person, or this person may not know how to approach you. Everybody's not looking to get into a relationship. Everybody's not looking to shack up. Some people like their peace. And so they may have some needs that they would like, damn, it would be nice if I got that need met. It would be nice if I could get that foot rub, but I'm not gonna go out with her and date her and we moving in together and next thing you know she pregnant and just because I wanted my feet rubbed. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was a foot rub once a week. You know what I'm saying? So for some of you, you may need to consider outsourcing what it is that you're looking for. You just want sex and that's it. Then go get you a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? Go get you a clean one. You know what I'm saying? Go tell her to show you your, you know what I'm saying? Or pay her for her services exclusively if you know that's all you want. If there was a saying, if a man could get everything that he needed, like if he needed a woman who cooked, he could pay for a chef. Say he could afford that. He could afford a chef. He needed somebody to take care of kids. He could afford a nanny. He needed somebody to cook for him. He could afford a chef. He needed somebody to give him sex. He could afford a prostitute. If you was a woman coming into his life, if he had all these things taken care of, what would you be able to offer this person? Same thing with the men. If she had everything she needed, she could afford everything she needed as far as what her real needs were. She could pay somebody to do it. Why would she want to deal with you? What are you bringing to, what are you bringing to the connection that, that she's not getting? You know what I mean? People don't know how to be genuine friends with people. People don't know how to be supportive of people. People don't know how to be, a champion of others, endeavors. You don't know how to be a help meet, help this person meet their goals. What goals do they have? Okay, well, can you help them in some sort of way? Find out what they're doing and how they're doing it and see if you could, like, okay, this man does A, B, and C. Let me just help him out by making him breakfast in the morning. Or she does A, B, and C. Let me just make sure that I run her bath for her when she come in. She doing all this all day. I know she like bubble baths. Let me run her a bubble bath. Like, things like that. That would make you expendable. That's the difference between, you being around and, other people. So some of you, hanging out, going out to the nightclub or what have you, maybe you just need a night out. Maybe you need a night out with friends. I don't know. Archangel Michael, some of you are protected. Okay. So just, that protection energy also involves you being diligent of who you're talking to and who you're around. And then isolation. Like I said, some of people are loners. They've been isolated for a while. Maybe somebody wants to come out and start dating. You know what I mean? But they just don't know how to do it. They could be socially awkward. So people could be looking online at, oh, this is how you treat women, or this is how you treat. Don't listen to none of that shit. Get to know the individual that you're interested in. Talk to them. Spend time getting to know them. Have conversation. And then you'll know what to do. You listening to these people online, you're going to fuck your relationship up. Yeah, support. So this is again where I was saying somebody might need some support or they need some help. So they go to others, lean on others in time of need. Maybe you have some friends who will help you out. Some of you could have went through a divorce or a separation as well. And that's what you came out of with that relationship. Soulmate, okay? Soulmate energy. This is an energy of you connecting with somebody that you're evenly yoked with, whether it's a friend, a family member, a lover, a business partner, it don't matter. And then we have trust. It's safe to trust the situation. This is all about listening to your gut, okay, instead of listening to other people. What is your gut telling you? Oh man, don't worry about it. Man, don't listen to her, man. She ain't shit. These bitches ain't shit. Da-da-da-da-da. When she's sitting here, explaining to you what it is that she's interested in, what it is she likes, or she's telling you that these are the boundaries. Man, don't listen to that. Bitches like when you show up at their door unannounced. She just told you, don't show up at my door unannounced. I don't like uninvited guests. And then you see what I'm saying here. So listen to your intuition when it comes to dealing with people that you're trying to get to know, and opposed to what other people are telling you. Like, some people just don't think for themselves. They don't have critical thinking skills. And this is what the internet is doing to a lot of people. It's dumbing them down. It's telling them what to do instead of what would you do in this situation? Somebody come to you and say, hey, what would you do in this situation? Turn it back around on them. What would you do? Well, I'm asking you. No. You tell me what you would do. Critical thinking is key. Okay? And a lot of people don't do it, and I don't understand why. But it solves a lot of problems. All right? But that's what I got for you, Libra. I wish you guys the best. Happy birthday to you. And I'll see you in the next reading. Deuces.